call the roll.
Alderman Bosley, Alderman Kennedy, Alderman Conway, Alderwoman Cruzen, Alderman Moore,
Here.
Alderwoman Davis,
Present.
Alderman French,
Present.
Alderman Carter, Alderman Kotar,
Here.
Alderwoman Spencer,
Present.
Alderwoman Green, Chairman Rhodey.
Present.
We have 7 present. We have a quorum.
Let's see, why don't we take the bills that are not on the committee? That would be Alderwoman Tyus, Board Bill number 296.
Joe, bring your mic down.
We knew you wanted to be first.
I don't know which one is, I don't have a board bill, 296, is that Palm or is that Geraldine? I'm sorry. Palm, is that Natural Bridge? Okay, that's White House. Yeah, that's how I know them. Actually, it's kind of big. I have a rendering. Here.
Do you want to pass that down that way, Alderman, and then we'll get it there. Proceed, Alderwoman.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, Board Bill 296 is an ordinance recommended by the Planning Commission, and it's going to change zoning on several parcels. Right now, it's at the corner of Kings Highway and Natural Bridge and Palm, and it's where the White Castles is located. And they want to, for the second time in about 20-something years, they want to tear down the White Castles and build a new White Castles. If any of you travel any at all, there is a new one at Natural Bridge, I'm sorry, at Kings Highway in Delmar, and that's the same structure that they want to build. In order to do that, we had several properties that they own, but they were zoned very different, and so they want to consolidate and make all the properties the same. In order to get this to happen, we've actually have neighborhood meetings, and we actually have several of the neighbors here. The street Palm, which is directly to the south of Natural Bridge, is a residential street, and it's kind of been, we've had decimation on that street with the noise from Natural Bridge and Kings Highway at the White Castles. And so before I would do anything, I wanted to make sure that they were brought into the loop. So we actually had a meeting, which resulted in they actually are changing their plans to address the noise that happens there, and they are a 24-hour facility. And so after meeting with the neighbors and coming up with a better plan, we think anyway, that addresses the neighborhood and keeping it residential behind them, we think we have an agreement, and that's why I'm appearing before the committee asking that we pass Board Bill 296 out with a due pass.
Are there any questions of the Alderwoman from the first? Alderman? Alderman? Alderman Kennedy, do you have any questions?
Disengaged.
Alderman Moore?
Alderman Tyus, where they got it blocked off at Palm, are you gonna open that street back up or gonna leave it closed?
No, sir. Alderwoman Moore. No, we actually are not. I actually closed that when I was the 20th Ward Alderwoman because of the traffic from the White Castles. We're actually going to move that up. There's a 1-2 family or 4 family that's right there that's in front of it. We're going to move that up. They're going to move their curb cut up so that will make all of Palm residential, and that addresses one of the things we had as a problem, because they actually have a curb cut right now onto Palm. They're going to move that up so that it's incongruent or equal to where the alley is behind the Church's Chicken.
Right.
And that way, we will keep all of the rest of Palm as residential.
So will they still be able, will we still be able to cut down behind, go down that alley?
We want all of you people to enter off of Natural Bridge. No, actually, you will be able, not the alley, because we're going to turn the alley around, because the residents don't like the people cutting through the streets and onto there.
You gonna shut that down?
We're not shutting it down. We're just going to change it so that it is for the residents and not for commercial traffic. So you will be inconvenienced in that you will have to use the Natural Bridge or the Kings Highway entrance. Or you can come down Palm and come in, but you will not be able to do the alley. The alley will be changed and become one-way headed north.
Okay. One way here to north, so you have a big one-way, do not enter sign.
That is exactly right.
All right, that's all I have.
Alderwoman Davis.
No questions, congratulations.
I want to tell you that as soon as this meeting is over, Alderwoman Davis is meeting with White Castle. So she is wanting the White Castles, and I have told them that that is a good idea to work with her, because they had actually asked me about down in the area of, what is that, North Florissant, West Florissant, what is that called? North Florissant?
Yeah, North Florissant area.
I think the 3rd, the 19th, and the 5th kind of meet up there.
ABL, we all kind of merged
Right.
there, yeah.
So we're hoping that you have a new plan soon also.
So you can get them to put one on Martin Luther King.
They're here. Are you listening? People are asking for you. The 4th Ward Alderman wants to know if you are open to one in Martin Luther King, on Martin Luther King in the 4th Ward. But this other gentleman, I'll introduce you to him right after this meeting. That's how I got Walgreens. Irv Clay had Walgreens, and I went to every meeting he had with Walgreens and said, hey, what about Natural Bridge and Kings Highway? So that's sometimes how you meet people.
Alderwoman Davis.
I'm done, thank you.
Alderman French.
Yeah, so it's good to see the improvement there. Will the location be closed during the construction?
It will be, because they have to tear that site down. So they can't do like they did with Wells moving to Delmar.
Yeah, so how long will it be closed?
4 months? 4 months.
That's going to be so sad, so sad.
So for those of you all who just cannot stand to do without White Castles, remember there is still one at Delmar and Kings Highway. There's one on North Florissant and whatever the street. So there are many White Castles throughout the city.
Got to satisfy my crave. All right, thank you.
The little hot dog bites back.
I eat the chocolate donuts, actually.
Alderman Kotar. No questions. Alderwoman Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My only question was related to you mentioned that there's been several rebuilds of the same building. I'm just curious, why is it necessary to rebuild this building so many times?
Because they improve and update, and I love that. I want several other fast foods, like if you ever look at the Burger Kings, there's one on Delmar, in the 25 years, never been rebuilt, and the one on Natural Bridge. McDonald's is improved. They get new and improved buildings, and it really looks better. They've improved traffic patterns. They improve all kind of things, ideas. One of the things I'm talking to them about is if you go to the subway, I think it's in the 17th Ward on near Manchester and Kings Highway.
Beautiful.
Well, what I like is their speaker system. You don't have to necessarily talk into the squawk box. You actually can just press your what you want, and then it saves it under your telephone number. I think that's wonderful kind of technology for things that are close to neighborhoods.
I understand. Thank you so much. That's the only question I have.
Okay, hearing no other, hearing no other questions, the chair will entertain a motion on Board Bill number 296.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Kennedy? Aye. Alderman Moore? Aye. Alderwoman Davis?
Aye.
Alderman French?
Aye.
Alderman Coder? Aye. Alderwoman Spencer?
Aye.
Chairman Rhodey?
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
301.
I'll trade you that one. Okay.
Okay, Board Bill number 301. Proceed,
Again.
Alderwoman.
Have huge things here. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Board Bill 301 is also from the Planning Commission, and it is a process that's been long going. Actually, the gas station portion of this is already completed. It's at the corner of Union, Bircher, I-70. But besides a gas station, we also have plans for a strip mall. And to that end, the developer has already bought all of the property and demolished it. I actually, in order, because I'm not a fan of gas stations, I don't think that's development necessarily, and, but the developer did buy all of the property. He demolished it. He also, I required that he buy the property behind Union, which was Geraldine, so that we could put berms and noise deafening kind of things, fences, trees, so that there would be soundproofing. And he has done that and cleared it up. So when you go to that site now, it's a very different looking site. And if we can get this completed, it will be something in addition to the neighborhood. This is in the Mark Twain neighborhood, which is on the edge of Walnut Park. And oftentimes people don't believe you can do development in that community, and they can, and they have beautiful houses that surround it. And we would have liked to seen something different than a gas station, but that was part of the deal, and they're doing a good job with it. And so there is a gas station across the street. The neighbors have told me they don't want another gas station, and I agree. But this one is one that I think that will bring some value and added value to the community. And that's why we're here asking that the zoning be changed to F Neighborhood Commercial District.
Okay, Alderman Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have plenty of questions.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Have you gotten in your planning to know how many commercial units you might have there at this point?
No,
interesting.
because, well, so a little secret, I've been talking to the senator from Kansas City. I used to live in Kansas City, and I went to school with the Gates. So one of the things we're trying to get is a Gates barbecue, okay? And we're working really hard with that. So that would change the size of what and so what they normally do with strip malls, sometimes they'll put several doors, and then you can combine units,
Right.
and you build out depending on who you bring there.
Okay. That's all I had, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Looks like a good project.
Please don't.
I don't have a script, but I'll be the first customer.
No, you'd have to knock me down.
Alderman Moore.
No question.
Alderwoman Davis.
No questions.
Alderman French.
No questions.
Alderman Kodar.
No questions.
Alderwoman Spencer.
I have no questions.
Okay, hearing no other questions, the chair will entertain a motion on Board Bill number 301.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
Moved, second, and request for previous roll. Hearing no objections, we'll consider Board Bill number 301 heard and passed out of committee with the due pass recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee. Thank you. Yeah, that is. And my glasses over here. I'm spread out a lot every place.
Let's see.
We have,
Alderman Kennedy has requested that Board Bill number 305 be held in committee, therefore it'll probably be taken up at next session. That leaves us with Board Bill number 251 with Alderman Kotar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Board Bill 251 is a board bill recommended by the Planning Committee to change 1322 through 32 Dolman Street from C, multiple family dwelling, and F, neighborhood commercial, to an E, multiple family dwelling district. To give you some perspective, this building is the Boris Mop Factory on the north, what would that be? The northwest corner of Park and Dolman. Sorry, northeast corner of Park and Dolman. As you're entering Lafayette Square, it's like a 4-story, empty, industrial-looking building. It's been long vacant. It has been acquired by a developer who has extensive experience doing market-rate apartments in the Central West End and in the Soulard area, and is tackling this building in Lafayette Square. And in order to do so, we've got to make some tweaks to the zoning to change it to E, multiple family dwelling. The neighborhood's very much in support of this. The Lafayette Square Restoration Committee's plan review team has been working closely with the developer. We've had a number of developers in years past try to tackle this project unsuccessfully. I'm hopeful this project will get off the ground. Design-wise, there's not a ton to it. It's an existing building. The facade will look very similar. When it's done, we hope to have about 48 market rate units in this building. So I'd ask you for your favorable consideration of this zoning bill, please.
Any questions of Alderman Kotar? Alderman Kennedy?
No questions.
Alderman Moore?
No question.
Alderwoman Davis?
No questions.
Alderman French?
No questions.
Alderwoman Spencer?
Just curious who the developer is?
The developer is Vinson One LLC, which is Vic Alston. I think his company goes by many names. Asprient is probably his development arm.
Sounds like a good project. That's all I have.
Okay. Hearing no other questions, the chair will entertain a motion for Board Bill number 251.
So moved.
Second. Previous
moved.
roll.
And second, any request for previous roll. Hearing no objections, we'll consider Board Bill number 251 heard and passed out of committee with due pass recommendation. Board Bill number 252.
You've learned, that's right. I don't need to belabor the point. That's
I'm gonna stop giving myself because this one. I done told her, I done texted her, and I done told her.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Board Bill 252 is a simple rezoning bill. This is an area along South Jefferson, just south of Cherokee Street, before you get to the intersection of Broadway, Jefferson, and Chippewa, which has sort of a little bit of a mess of zoning. This particular lot had two zonings associated with it, the B2 family as well as the J industrial, which really inhibited being able to take site control. So we're just going to be converting it to a 2-family dwelling district, just to kind of clean up the zoning there.
Okay. Alderman Kennedy, have any questions?
No questions.
No. Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Davis, any questions?
No questions.
Alderman French, any questions?
No questions.
Alderman Kotar, any questions?
No questions.
Hearing no questions, the chair will entertain a motion on Board Bill number 252. It's been moved,
Second?
Previous roll.
and hearing no objections, we'll consider Board Bill number 252 passed out of committee with due pass recommendation. Having no business before us at this point, we'll consider today's meeting adjourned. And thank you all. It's been a very busy
Lord have mercy.
last few weeks. Thank you.